Alright, shalom, shalom, Akim. This the brother Nahoya from the GMS New Orleans Church, coming with a quick lesson. Before I get started, I want to give infinite honors and praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Kagudash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopefully elect. And for this video, I want to title it "A Righteous Man's Salary," because doing this work for the Lord, being a man of the Lord, we do have a big payout, a big payday that's waiting on us if we endure until the end, if we're able to reap the benefits of finishing this course, right? So to begin, I'm gonna start with Salakia Matthew 6:19. It reads, "Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal," right? So don't, invest in trying to become rich and wealthy, on this side, right? Investing in a falling economy, right? Where your these riches, this fiat currency can be stripped away from you. We got bags with holes. We're subject to payments, right? We're slaves. But verse 20, it says, lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal." Right? It says, lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven. And how do we lay up for ourselves treasures in heaven? Doing the work of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Building upon, that spiritual bank account that we have, right? We not we're not toiling and plowing for nothing, right? I'll just get that. It'll lead me right into my next precept. This is Hebrews 6:10. It says, "For the Most High is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love, which ye have shewed toward his name, and that ye have ministered to the saints and do minister." I'll read in the NLT, Hebrews 6:10 in the NLT. "For the Most High is not unjust. He will not forget how hard you have worked for him, and how you have shown your love to him by caring for other believers as you still do." Right? And we're just doing what the Lord commanded us to do, right? But that's the deal, right? We do what we've been asked to do by Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, carry out our part, and he has a reward, for us doing that, for us holding on our end of the deal. Okay? So this is Revelation 22:12. It says, "And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me, to give every man according as his work shall be." And this is red letters. So this is Yahweh Shai, saying this, right? It says his reward is with him, right? To give every man according as his work shall be, right? And we want our works to be what? Bountiful, in spiritual things and righteousness, right? Unlike the wicked, because that's another reward, that the Lord is coming with, to reward those who have loathed his law, right? Who have ignored the word of the Lord, set his word at naught, his counsel at naught, right? But we want to be found innocent and blameless, right? Doing the works, okay? Being that, a perfect servant when Yahweh Shai comes back with his reward. So this is 2 Corinthians 4:16. It says, "For which cause we faint not, But though our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day. So we're having patience, right? We're suffering every day. We're in these chains of darkness. We're in captivity, right? But it says, yet the inward man is renewed day by day. So spiritually, we're growing closer to the Lord, right? By continuing to doing His work, right? Spiritually, we're going closer. Verse 17, it says, for our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. Right. So this work we're doing is a light affliction, right? Compared to what we're going to receive, our reward, our salary at the end all be all. It's verse 18. It says, while we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. Right. So we don't look at the tangible things of this world, right? Uh, what can anything, clothes, cars, houses, money, anything money can buy, on this side. Whatever would be registered in your head is, prosperous, in this world. It says, for the things which are seen are temporal. So these things that, we could physically see, that are tangible, we could touch, it's temporal, it's temporary. It says, but the things which are not seen are eternal. And that's those, spiritual things, right? Those treasures that we lay up in heaven. Those things that we're working towards are eternal. It's going to last us forever and ever and ever. Which that's going to be that's the true treasure, the true riches. Something that's never gonna, it can't decay. Like this like the dollar, a coin, a penny. It can't decay. It can't be taken from us. It can't be stolen from us, right? Those things are, the eternal things, the true treasure that we're working towards. Okay, so like I'm, congested, getting over a little cold, but so bear with me, forgive me. But this is Galatians 6:8. It says so like it says, I'll start at verse 7. Galatians 6:7. It says, be not deceived, the Most High is not mocked, for whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Right? So whatever you plow, you work towards, that's what you're going to receive, at the end of your labors. Verse 8, it says, for he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption, but he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting. Right? And that's what we're doing. We're by, offering our bodies as living sacrifices to the Lord, doing the will of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, we're sowing to the Spirit, doing the things that pertain to the Spirit, working towards the spiritual things. We're sowing to the Spirit, all right. But it says, he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap everlasting life. All right, so by doing those things, all right, we're going to receive a crown, immortality, all right, immortal, perfect, angelic bodies. Right, these are all some of the things that's a part of that reward that we're going to receive. Okay, as long as we, keep working towards that crown. Salakia. This is Matthew Matthew 19. I'll start at verse 27. This is Matthew 19 and 27. It says, Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? Right? And Yahweh Shai, he was speaking to Yahweh Shai, asking him, all right, we've forsaken all the things, the aspirations, of this world, you know, families, whatever, etc. You know, he's asking Yahweh Shai, so for doing this, what's our reward? What shall we receive, for doing this? It's verse 28. And it reads, And Yahweh Shai said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye shall also sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Right? So Yahweh Shai, he said, basically he said, when I come back, right, and I take the kingdom, those of you who have, forsaken these things, and it's gonna read on, so I ain't gonna say too much on it. I'll just read it. This is verse 29. It says, And everyone that hath forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands for my name's sake shall receive an hundredfold, and shall inherit everlasting life. Right? So Yahweh Shai said, and when I come back and I take the kingdom, right, those of you that have forsaken this life, have become dead to this life and sown to the spirit, right? You're gonna, rule with me. Uh, you're gonna be the governing body under me in the kingdom to come, right? With that, that immortality, right? Ruling with a rod of iron, under Yahweh Shai. Come on, man. This is what we got to look forward to, like being men of the Lord, right? This is our reward. And the list goes on and on and on. Like you could go, there's a million precepts you could get, just going into the, the reward of the righteous. Okay. This is John 14 and 2. So like I don't want to get 3. Yeah, I can read 3. But this is John 14 and 2. It says, In my father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, that ye may be also. Right? And Yahweh Shai, right? He has the kingdom of heaven prepared for us. Right? In due time, that's going to be ready to be, established upon earth. But we're also going to be able to, have other planets, right? So, imagine, you know, having a ruling a whole planet, not just a country or but a whole planet, right? Because there's many scriptures say there's many mansions, right? Many houses. Okay, so imagine having a job, or working for something, right, that's gonna reward you with not only with rulership and dominion, but on earth, but even other planets, right? That's gonna be supreme, rulership and dominion. Okay. But this is I'll get a couple more. It don't have to be long. Just, getting straight to the point. This is Revelation 2 and 26. Okay. Yeah, Revelation 2 and 26. It says, and he that overcometh and keepeth my works unto the end, to him will I give power over the nations. Right? And this is, a scripture that comes out a lot, brother's favorite scriptures. Alright, because when I'm gonna go into this word power in the blue letter is G1849 exousia, right? And it says power of choice, liberty of doing as one pleases, uh, physical and mental power, right? The power of authority, the power of rule or government, the power of him whose will and commands must be submitted to by others and obeyed. It says authority over mankind, right? So, that's what we're going to be rewarded with, right? To him that overcometh, he that overcometh, the affairs of this world, this battle, this fleshly fight, right? He that overcometh that is going to receive authority over mankind, right? So this labor that we doing, this plowing and working for the Lord, you know, sometimes it gets hard. We get weary, all right, but we can't stop, all right, because the reward that we're gonna receive is a reward like none other. All right, there's no occupation that you could do that's gonna reward you and give you a payout like the occupation of serving the Lord, right? Authority over mankind. What other job can give you, a reward? And I don't want to, just refer to, serving the Lord as a job, right? But what occupation could give you a reward, so that's even, thinking about that, we haven't experienced that, right? We can't even fathom or think, what true power or authority over mankind is going to be like, right? So think about the jobs we have now, in a world that we have to, to get our daily bread, right? The best thing they can offer is what? Some dental insurance, life insurance, a 401k. Nah, the occupation of serving the Lord is going to grant you authority over mankind. Come on, man. That's deep. But this is verse Revelation 2 and 27. Verse 27. It says, and he shall rule them with a rod of iron, as the vessels of a potter shall they be broken to shivers, even as I receive of my Father. Right? So we're going to rule with these nations with an iron fist. Right? From Esau, Edom, to the other 17 other nations. All right, we're going to rule these nations with an iron fist. All right, they're going to be broken down completely. All right, Israel, we not going to be at the bottom, no more. All right, starting with the governing body. All right, we're going to have supreme rulership, over and authority over mankind, over these other nations. Which that's going to lead me to my next precept. This is Psalm 2 and 6. Psalms 2 and 6. It says Psalms 2 and 6. It says, yet have I set my king upon my holy hill of Zion. I will declare the decree. The Lord Yahweh had said unto me, thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee. speaking, of Yahweh Shai. Verse 8, it says, "Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash, Salakia, thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel." Right? So we're going to have, uh, true riches in the kingdom of heaven, in the kingdom to come. That's what our a righteous man's salary consists of, right? Uh, all the treasures from the other nations, people, cattle, jewels, whatever it may be, right? The men of the Lord are gonna possess those things. Come on, man. It's like it. But this is kind of I'll get this one. This is Isaiah 60:22. It says, "A little one shall become 1,000, and a small one a strong nation. I, the Lord Yahweh, will hasten it in His time." Yeah, so imagine, being able to have a whole so many children. You know, you yourself will be likened unto that'll be likened to your own nation, right? Being able to have, plenty of children, right? You don't have to worry about them growing up and becoming a adulterer, adulteress, a sodomite. You know, each and every last one of them are gonna be completely righteous, right? You're gonna be able to have, joy of your children. Brothers have children on this side. Right? They gotta go to school, be indoctrinated by, Esau's education system, uh philosophies or whatnot, YouTube, Instagram, all these devices, you know, can barely sim. You gotta work. You can't fully, be there throughout the entirety, of their childhood, and and enjoy them, right? But in the kingdom, we're gonna have, joy of our children completely. It's not gonna We ain't gonna miss, one day of experiencing, what it's like to have, actual ownership of our children, man. Right? Being actually, being a father. Right? What it really means to be a father. And me personally, I don't have children, right? But I have siblings and things of that nature. But for those brothers who do have children, I know that's something, you want to look forward to. And that's what's gonna bring me to my next precept. Sirach. This is Sirach 25:7. It says, "There be 9 things which I have judged in mine heart to be happy, and the tenth I will utter with my tongue. A man that had joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy." Right? And that's shit, that's 2 things, right, that we have to look forward to after this work is complete, after we receive our reward, right? A man that have joy of his children, which I just brought out now that Isaiah 60, you know, and also, and he it says, "And he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy," right? Because us receiving our crown, our reward comes with the heathen nations, being cast back down to the rightful, places on the earth, and us being lords over them again. That's this Esau Edom's kingdom is coming to an end, and with that, the other nations, the power, that they have, or whatever they stand, because the Israelite man is at the bottom of the barrel. Salaki is at the bottom of the barrel, socially, in every aspect of life, right? All right, but with the fall of Esau Edom, that's going to trickle down to all the other nations also, right? Because we're going to be lords uh, over all the nations, all 17 nations. The Israelite man is going to rule over, right? But this is Romans. Now I get it about two more, and I'll get out of here. This is Romans 8. Oh, so like yeah, shit. Romans 8 and 17. I start at verse 16. It says, "The Spirit itself bear witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High, and if children, then heirs, heirs of the Most High, and joint heirs with Hamashiach." So like heirs of the power of our power, and joint heirs with Hamashiach. If so be that we suffer with him, that we may also be glorified together. For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. Yeah, so we're toiling and plowing. We got that the delayed. We're in a fight of that delayed gratification. But if we continue in patience and suffering, and enduring to the end to receive our crown and our reward, it says the suffering of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. So we're going to be compensated for our work. The salary that we're going to be compensated with, it's going to be, you know, it's going to outweigh the work that we've done. So we're going to be rewarded for the work that we've done and then some, right? Really, no matter how much, how hard we go, or how much work that we get done for Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, in righteousness, it can't be compared, to the reward that He has prepared for us. So we got to keep going. This is the salary of a righteous man. I'll end it on this one right here. This is Wisdom of Solomon 5, and I'll start at 15. It says, "But the righteous live forevermore. Their reward also is with the Lord, and the care of them is with the Most High. Therefore shall they receive a glorious kingdom and a beautiful crown from the Lord's hand. For with his right hand shall he cover them, and with his arm shall he protect them." Right, so, you know, our work is going to pay off eventually, man. Right? I just read it said they shall receive a glorious kingdom and a beautiful crown from the Lord's hand. That's that ultimate reward that we're after. The kingdom, a crown, dominion, rulership, immortality, righteousness, ruling, with Yahweh Shai. That's what this work, is gonna lead up to. If we, endure until the end. keep plowing, right? Until Yahweh Shai comes back, right? And this word of getting the reward is actually made manifest, right? That's why that we're not going through this process of delayed gratification for nothing, right? We're gonna be satisfied, with the end of our labors. But uh, that's all I had. Hopefully, this quick lesson was edifying. Before I end it, I want to give infinite honors and praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem Kagodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. And peace, blessings, and salutations to the hopefully elect. Shalom.